Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another cast, another game, another opportunity for you to see why Total Annihilation is the best RTS that was ever created. Don't at me, bro. Don't at me in the comments. I don't want to hear it. I said it. I stand by it. I won't take it back. Guys, today I actually have a smaller scale game for you. I'm going to do a 2v2 as opposed to the bigger 4v4 style games I've been casting. I need to get back to my roots. I started casting this game in 1v1 scenarios, so I don't even know why I'm casting 4v4s. Only plebs, only the worst of the worst play in those kinds of Clown Fiesta games, and I won't lower myself by casting any more of that nonsense. This is a we used to be a respectable channel here, okay? I used to make respectable content, and now, I disgust myself. I have to drink myself to sleep every night. You know, I haven't showered in days. I just really feel gross. So we're just not going to cast those games anymore, and we're just going to stick with the smaller scale games where the true, layers of skill can be unraveled, and I will bring all of that to you here in that glorious 1080p. Let me go ahead and introduce the players. In red, our Russian air god, Mr. EXE, the man, the myth, the legend, and his teammate who needs no introduction, Lemminkainen, who he's been making some maps lately, but this man also an incredibly effective and powerful player. I would say that his power level is at least over 9,000, but the sky's the limit with this guy. Who knows? Here in blue we have Race, one of the strongest late game macro players in the world, and one of the best 1v1 players as well. This guy is always a treat to watch, always a pleasure. And finally, oh, hold that thought. There's a little bit of action going on as Lemminkainen may have gotten a weasel, being a little weaselly. But no, that weasel didn't get too much accomplished. Finally, we have Fallen Devil, aka Dioxide, who has been the subject of a little bit of drama lately in the TA Escalation Discord. There's been some controversy, my friends. Names have been called. Bans have been hammered. Things have been happening. A true Jerry Springer moment, if I ever did see one. There's been an argument. Now, I know that as a community, we are not having childish arguments because we're also fully grown adults here, but nonetheless, things have been happening, and our boy Deox, Mr. Fallen Angel. By the way, I just want to say, I have no problem with Deox. But yeah, man, I hope you're watching this replay. I hope you're doing good, man. I hope eventually you'll be allowed to come back into the Discord and participate into our amazing community. I'm sure eventually we'll get there, so that you can do something to be banned again. Wouldn't we all just love that, guys? I love the drama. I'm just gonna like lay it out for you. I'm just gonna be completely transparent. I love the drama. I love all the butt hurt. I live for this stuff. So guys, keep bringing it, keep bringing the content, and I will keep bringing you the casts. And we'll have to see what happens this game. Can Fallen Angel, Mr. Deox, live up to the hype of all the butt hurt he seems to cause in our community? He's a veritable God, what's the name of that guy? I'm not even going to bring that up. I've said enough. Let's get into the game. My friends. Yeah. Okay, so certainly I think the Southern team has the advantage here, because EXE and Lemminkainen, a fearsome combination of warriors, god tier heroes, Super Saiyans, if you will. I would not want to be the man that was on a team against them, but hold that thought, because Race with a nice early aggression. So many flashes here. This is at least 7. There was probably 8. I think 1 died here, so moment of silence for that one. And so yeah, but EXE, he's got his own flashes here as well. Lot of aggression happening in the early stages of the game on both sides, but you know, on a map like this, it isn't necessarily a given that it will be an aggressive early on. This is kind of a huge map. The map is called Convicted, and Race may get a mechs here or 2. But he's done a good job of just kind of denying Lemminkainen the north side of his base. All these mexes, as you can see, all these metal spots haven't been taken because Race has been incredibly effective with his raiding, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. It's annoying. They will have to rebuild these metal extractors. But other than that, it shouldn't cause the game to end or anything like that. It's just early game raiding can give you an advantage. It will give you a small tempo advantage, but ooh, Deox with the early bomber. Does it have any kills? Did I miss anything? No kills, so it hasn't done anything yet. He's gearing up for a aerial raid. Hold that thought. There is a little combat happening in the middle, but nothing too substantial. Race has apparently stalled himself out on energy. Deox, our friend Deox here, master of controversy. He being a little indecisive, I gotta say. Come on, Deox. Make a decision with this bomber. You gotta figure out what you're doing here. Yeah, okay, so Deox going in there. He's gonna try to get some action done here. Oh, he gets 1 mex. Not the best line bombing I've ever seen. Oh my god. You didn't see that. No one saw that. No, you didn't see that. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It was a bug in the replay. He actually got all those. this is well, I mean, he has gotten some. Oh my god, that was miserable. Okay, well, Deox with an attempt, but look, that's better than I could do. I'll tell you that much. If you watch my line bombing skills, you'd probably delete my channel forever. Just absolutely miserable at line bombing. But alright. EXE and Lemminkainen trying to push through with the Flash Instigator combo. Arm and Core working together somehow. It shouldn't be allowed. These two are sworn enemies. There are no alliances. And getting a little bit of headway here. The hole was not plugged. They really needed something down there. Some Dragon's Teeth or light laser towers or really anything to stop this kind of disastrous scenario from occurring, as some flashes and instigators have broken through. And now Lemminkainen with his own bombing run. What? Oh. Yeah, that didn't get anything done, so Deox prepared for that. He's got some missile turrets and everything. So again, the game is pretty close. Neither team has taken a huge lead early on. This is such racist style. I love it. I love it. All of the production, the vehicle plants, the aircraft labs, staying on T1, overwhelming his opponents with sheer numbers. I just love Race's slow macro style. It's like a work of art. It's like watching Bob Ross play Total Annihilation. You just always know what to expect, and it always works. He just does it so well. It's just the slow macro boulder of death that just rolls over you. You know, he'll transition to T2 eventually. And then his opponent will start getting overwhelmed with bulldogs and panthers. But Deoxide, I'm not really sure what Deoxide's style is, to be honest. I haven't watched enough of his games. So maybe this game we'll try to get a better handle on how he plays. EXE, though, you never really know what to expect from this guy. It can be anything. Usually it involves air, but it doesn't always involve air. That's part of what makes EXE such a fun player. He's a bit of a maverick. He's all over the place. Just depends on what mood he's in. EXE's also a fun player too because his skill kind of depends on what sort of day he's having. I mean, EXE at his best is better than anyone. I'll say it, but EXE at his worst is just a Russian troll. I mean, there's you just don't know what you're gonna get. He's the every flavor jelly bean from Harry Potter. That's EXE, man. But I do like what Lemonkinen's done here. He's got some light laser towers plugging the gap. This is kind of what I was referring to up here in the north that I had hoped that they would do at that location, but so far nothing. Lemonkinen's style is more of a... typically, he likes to tech quickly to T2 and T3. But he doesn't neglect his production either. Guys, that's a mark of a good player. Teching quickly is fine, but anyone can do that. Being able to tech quickly and defend yourself, that is where the true skill is. EXE spamming out tons of stumpies here, but those will get surrounded. Not the best composition. Pure stumpy is EXE troll strats for sure. That's really not ideal. The stumpy, they are very hard to kill, but they're not super accurate, and they are vulnerable to being surrounded. But I do like what EXE has done here. This, as you can see, this heavy laser tower has a natural terrain barrier in front of it. And again, I like the idea of what EXE's doing here, but the actual execution maybe a bit lacking. Maybe if he included a few javelins in there, it could be a lot better, but it looks like Deox was the first player this game to truly get to T2, and now pumping out pyros, so that might be his playstyle. Deox might be more of a tech player. Lots of action happening in the middle. Both teams swarming each other with tons of T1 units. Storms involved as well. And again, the southern team definitely expected to win here. They have, I think, the stronger players overall. But you really cannot count Race out ever. He's got great bombing skills. Great macro. And just does it all so well. I don't know. Just kind of good at everything. But EXE staying on the stumpy game plan, making something happen. This Guardian looks to be in a bit of trouble. There is a heavy laser tower. I like what Deox is doing with these pyros. I've mentioned before, pyros are extremely strong at the early T2 phase because they melt, literally melt, T1 units. Every T1 unit in the game stands no chance. Look at this. Evaporated. Burned. Blistered. Sent to hell. And they won't be coming back. Not in this game, at least. More bombers. Clearly, Race, He is staging up for a serious aerial raid. World War II style bombing campaign. And does Lemminkainen have any idea that this is coming? Lemminkainen has classically skimped on air defense to try and accelerate his strategies. And we have seen in the past that he gets punished for it. Now, EXE does have some fighters, and he will be able to bring those to help. But could it be too little too late? I mean, Lemminkainen, he only has the most bare minimum amount of air defense. And yeah, EXE is definitely going to have to offer assistance when this bombing run finally makes its way over. But oh my goodness, these Pyros have made it to the Geos. And they'll take one out. Can they get the second one? It's going to be close. This Pyro's getting low. The Geo lives with a tiny sliver of health. But yeah, all eyes on this bombing run. This impending raid. Lemminkainen has now made it to T2. And he will skip Pyros completely, going straight for the can strategy. I do like this. Cans are slow, but they are great units. Especially during the early mid T2 stage. They just they do so much damage. Here comes the bombers, but Race is going to reveal these now. I really hope that he targets Lemminkainen with them, though, not EXE. EXE has better air defense. And those fighters now making an appearance. Oh no, dude. Most of those bombers were lost in that initial volley, and that's so sad because Lemminkainen's base was just completely vulnerable there. But Race maybe not realizing how much damage he could have gotten done if he had just taken the eastern path straight over the ridge and into Lemminkainen's base. He could have probably killed all of this. But guys, as the players, they do not have God mode. They cannot see what we see. They don't have perfect information. So it is hard to know. Even if he had just taken out this advanced K-Bot lab, it would have been pretty devastating for Lemminkainen. But nonetheless, the game continues. The cans now breaking through, and no defense was ever built at this approach, which seems a bit risky to me. As I mentioned just a few minutes ago, Race will be pumping Bulldogs off the assembly line very soon, and that he is. The Bulldogs have made it into the fray. But these cans looking unstoppable. 11 kills, 3 kills, and 8 kills. Combined over 20 kills. The northern team doing what they can to try to cut these off. They've already done some economic damage. I like this. Deox using the construction aircraft to build nano walls to try and stop that thing from getting any further north. Certainly they don't want to lose the Moho extractors, but a single raider has made it through as well. Very annoying. This is a very high level game of Escalation. This is probably about the highest level of 2v2 as you can get. So I do appreciate both teams really showing their stuff. Ooh, okay, EXE. He has reclaimed everything. All of his labs are gone. And he's gone straight into air. He has gone completely into air. Except for this advanced K-Bot lab. But all of his T1 labs are gone. So I really like this by EXE. He's playing to his strengths, using what he is so well known for. And Lemminkainen, I think he's still just pumping out cans at the moment and upgrading his economy. So right now, all the economy's pretty close. Deoxide seems to be a little ahead, but not really. The northern team has a slightly better economy, but not by much. Race with some tossers, the T1 artillery. And we saw that he had Bulldogs, but those are taking a little while. The Bulldog isn't the fastest tank in the game. But they will get there eventually. And Deoxide still pumping out pyros. Working on a second or third advanced cable out lab. So right now, I think the Southern team may have the advantage in terms of their military, but we'll see how long that lasts. Race bringing in more Bulldogs. EXE has many Zeuses. But that's so many cans. Will Race have enough to defend this? Bulldogs versus cans, it's a pretty close matchup. I've mentioned in the past. It's hard to say which one's better. It's pretty even. If the cans clump up, the Bulldogs have an advantage because they can hit them in an AoE, but Lemminkainen doing a good job of keeping his forces spread out. He's also got some nice air defense in this army, so Race will not be able to harass from the sky that easily. But as Lemminkainen's army moves through, he is losing some momentum here. Race continuing to send out the huge army of Bulldog spam. But now, Deoxide with a counterattack. It looks like they cleaned up most of those Zeuses. And that's a decent sized army as well. We got some cans here. And pyros. Ooh, a nice use of Avengers for air support, taking out all the construction aircraft. Dealing with the Freedom Fighters as well. Dealing with just about everything. Nice counterattack by Deoxide. In the meantime, Lemminkainen's attack still moving forward. Most of it has been killed. But yeah, now green coming to help. With both of them there, they should be able to clean this up. But let's look at Race's base here. He's now on 2 vehicle plants, 1 advanced vehicle plant, and an aircraft plant. And slowly upgrading his economy as well. So nice push by Lemminkainen. He did get some work done, not a massive amount, but he'll probably take out this Moho extractor. And he's cleared an entire hole at this eastern side of the map, so it'll be easier to attack the next time. That Moho extractor will go down, and the northern team really having trouble cleaning up this attack. It's just been going on forever. Not that many kills on that can, but doesn't really speak to how this has gone. They've broken through multiple times. And now the northern team just sort of struggling to defend their territory, which on a map like this can be kind of a devastating situation to be in, because there's a lot of metal in the middle, and you want to be able to have access to all of those resources. And clearly, Race doing what he can to try to reclaim and rebuild there, but he will be a little behind, I think, for a minute. But the game is still very close, because now the northern team has the momentum. Huge army of Bulldogs and Flashes and cans. And I think, what's Lemminkainen doing here? Still upgrading his eco. No attempt to go to T3 just yet. But I would expect Lemminkainen, of all players, to perhaps be the first person to make that transition. Of course, Deoxide could as well. Deoxide does like to rush T3 on occasion. But right now he has upgraded his T2 lab and is building the Super Sumos. And Race, I think, warning his teammate that mass sumos are incoming. He must have sent some scouts over and seen that. Yeah, he did. So Race sent some scouts over. He is now aware of the fact The Lemminkainen is also pumping out the Ultra Sumos. But this attack, how much can it get accomplished? It's unlikely to win the game, but it doesn't really need to win the game. EXE finally revealing his T2 Armada. All these Phoenixes in a really masterfully done bombing run there. Softening up the entire army. And with these upgraded Sumos, I think this attack will end. So the question is, how much can they accomplish with it? How much eco can they crush here? The bomber is still being used to try and deny the raiding. Oh, that was a beautiful one. Taking out all the flashes in one fell swoop, but the Bulldogs are still alive. Probably not for much longer, though. And Sumos do act as like a brick wall. They're so hard to push into, especially when they're upgraded. Guys, the upgraded Sumos were added on a recent patch. They were added in patch 997, I think. But the triple gun Sumos are so impressive because they have as much health as the regular Sumo, but they have even more firepower. Now, of course, they're slow, but they are slow-moving death, and they have so much health and range. They're just hard to deal with in general. So with that, this attack will finally be cleaned up. But as you can see, there was some damage done. A part of Yellow's base now lies in ruins. But right now, this game is razor thin. Neither team really incredibly ahead. Neither team at a huge advantage. And neither team also doing anything too out of the ordinary. But I do like what Race is doing here. Race has upgraded his advanced vehicle plant and is now pumping out the super penetrators with a double cannon. So, guys, let me show you. If you're a viewer and you don't know how this works, this is an Escalation exclusive feature. Your advanced K-Bottom vehicle labs can now be upgraded. It's a pretty deep investment, or steep investment. 3,000 metal. But you can upgrade them, and then there are certain units after you upgrade them that perform much better. They become the mega versions of themselves. Both ARM and Core can do this, so this is a cool feature added in Escalation in a recent patch. Someone in my comments had said, like, I didn't know this game was still being updated. Oh yes, it is still being updated. We are still getting updates. We love the updates. We really appreciate all the innovative new features. And cool things like that should keep this game alive for many, many years to come, and you will have to listen to my condescending voice for as long as you may live, as I bring to you these epic show matches and all of the beautiful TA drama. Oh, I like what EXE is doing here. He's using this wall to defend his Fidos. It is blocking at least some of the shots, but there's just a critical mass of Sumos here and cans. EXE, as you can see, he uses terrain really well. Building the bulwarks on the wall there to give them some support as well. An air battle occurring here. Death in the skies. Oh my goodness. It looks like the northern team may have come out on top of that, but EXE's got plenty of air defense here. And now brawlers as well. EXE using his aerial advantage to full effect. Not willing to let the northern team simply walk into his base uncontested, but will lose another Geo. Deox bringing his fighters into the fray, trying to push off these gunships. The Brawler, such a legendary and iconic unit in the TA franchise. The double EMG cannons raining down hell from the skies. So fun to watch. But now, Race with the Luger spam. But he doesn't want to just drive these straight into Lemminkainen's army. The Lugers really need to be kept at a distance to achieve full effect. But guys, I'm really surprised this game that we haven't seen any tactical nukes at all. This would be a great kind of map to like build one here, or perhaps here. These maps with the walls lend themselves to the kind of tactical nuclear gameplay. You can destroy your opponent's entire army in one nicely placed explosion. Lemminkainen with so many sumos. However, ooh, the penetrators have made it. And these eat sumos for breakfast. Man, I love to see it. I love penetrators. Definitely one of my favorite units. Always has been. Such a cool idea. It is just a mobile rolling tachyon laser of death. And these are the upgraded versions. So they get 2 cannons. That one will die, but fortunately there's still 3 left. That should be more than enough to kill these sumos. As long as he still has support moving forward. Oh, but a second one does die, so miscontrolling these a little bit. They can outrange the sumos. They should never be in range of those. But Deox with a potentially unstoppable sumo push of his own here on the west side of the map. And Bulldogs are not going to do well, but Spiders might be able to stun these for long enough for the Brawlers to take control. But Deox has fighters, and for some reason EXE has not brought proper air support. These fighters are just having a field day, slowly killing off all of these Brawlers. EXE needs some air of his own. He needs some kind of air superiority. Right now, just ignoring Deox's Avengers completely, as if they don't exist. And he is stopping this sumo push for now, but it's feeling a bit like a tower defense game because he's only slowing it down and the sumos continue moving in. Can he prevent this from reaching his base and killing the advanced K-Bot lab? It's really what needs to happen. 1 sumo down. Oh man, it's going to be so close. The spiders are causing some friction here, paralyzing the sumos, but they die almost as quickly as they're built. And now the advanced K-Bot lab in trouble. If EXE loses this, it will be devastating for his production. Oh no, dude, the sumos just keep coming. He just doesn't have the counters here. Brawlers take forever to kill these. As you can see, they will eventually get the job done, but the sumos are just so damn beefy. So hard to kill. And EXE needs to start pumping out penetrators, I think. The advanced K-Bot lab does go down. So that will put EXE in a terrible situation as Race brings his own fighters. Man, these Brawlers, though, are the only thing keeping EXE in the game. Just such an incredible display of aerial superiority. But will it be enough? I mean, more and more fighters are making their way to the front. Most of these Brawlers will be killed. And EXE now going to throw up an Annihilator. He still has these Bulwarks, but the Bulwarks really won't do that much against sumos. So EXE seems to think that Deox is on T3. He's not quite right. Deox is halfway to T3. But the reason they think that probably is because Deox has been very quiet. He really hasn't been producing much, except for all the sumos that have just been slowly making their way down the map, but I think they have the impression that Deox, who has the best economy in the game right now at over 200 metal per second, they have the impression that Deox is holding back a little bit. And he has been holding back as he's been pumping most of his resources into the Ultra K-Bot gantry. Race also going to T3 as well. So the northern team, I think, at this point, very much in the lead. Lemminkainen, it doesn't look like has even started T3. No, he has not. And of course, EXE has just been on the back foot all game. Especially the past 10 or so minutes with these sumos crawling into his base. But I think EXE, he was mostly on an aerial strategy, but the northern team has done a great job of keeping the skies clear. Both players have been pumping out fighters the entire game, making it difficult for EXE to maintain control of the sky. And with all these sumos pushing in, it's become harder and harder for EXE to defend it with only brawlers. Now, on T3, there is obviously options in the air that would take care of sumos very quickly. But unfortunately, EXE is not on T3. Both EXE and Lemminkainen still on T2 while their opponents make their way towards the next phase of the game. And they both reach it at around the same time. So, oh, I think that was a tactical nuke. I mentioned this earlier. I was surprised no one had built one. So there's got to be one somewhere. Just need to find it. Yeah, somewhere on this map is a tactical nuke. I thought this was from the northern team. Could be the southern team though. Oh no, it is the southern team. Someone has one. But the guys, these tactical nukes are so well hidden a lot of the time that they're hard to find, even for the caster. But somewhere on the map is a tactical nuke, and that did just here it is, the neutralizer. So let's see how many kills it has. Only killed one thing, but it probably hit a group of sumos, so it got them lower. But the sumos can take a hit from the tactical nuke and still be okay. Nonetheless, the northern team, I think, firmly in the driver's seat this game, as they've got they are on T3. EXE building annihilators, now transitioning to T3 himself, and I'd be surprised if Lemminkainen is not doing the same. Oh, he is right here, but they're so far behind. I mean, they are many minutes behind the northern team in terms of their transition to T3. Now Talos being built, and Race has not started on anything yet, but I assume he'll just pump out recons, something for the early T3 phase. But yeah, Deox really this game economically taking the lead by quite a margin. He's ahead in terms of metal, but crucially he has over 10,000 energy. Now 12,000 energy. And no one else even comes close. No one else is even breaking the 10,000 mark. So EXE is really going to struggle as Deox, with this massive economy, begins to start rolling Talos and Juggernauts and whatever else out of that experimental lab. There's a Scarab here. Lots of penetrators and bombers as well, but Lemminkainen was ready. He's got the air superiority fighters. He's got the Vamps. Those will take out most of that So all those Phoenixes will die. Deox with an aerial patrol in the front of Vamps and Avengers. But Lemminkainen, he will struggle to break through all these penetrators. That is a terrifying number of mobile tachyon cannons. Purple lasers, each one of them. So devastating. So beautiful to watch, the fireworks display. And, but still, the southern team only about halfway there, as the northern team continuing to press their advantage and upgrade their economy as well. I think, yeah, okay, so Race is going to be upgrading his Ultra Vehicle Plant. And we'll have to see what he'll probably pump out Centurions after that. So, it is not a cheap upgrade. It's 7,500 metal to get there. But yeah, right now, we'll have to see what the southern team can do. They definitely have, they do have the neutralizers still, and that could help them a lot, but the northern team is ready. They're going to try and push yellow. And do they have a Scarab? I saw one earlier, but it might have died. I think this might have been it. So they don't have any tactical nuke defense. This neutralizer will at least get 1 or 2 shots off, I think, for free. But is this push enough to break through? There is a single Talos. There are penetrators as well, but those are a little bit behind. Lemminkainen has just now made it to T3 himself, but could it be too little too late? I mean, Race calling out that there's no defense. There are a few sumos, but that's about all there is. And with the Talos spearheading the attack, this could be a game-ending push here, especially if these penetrators finally make it to the front line. We have more brawlers coming in to help, but Talos do have some air defense. EXE taking them out as the Avengers come in. And Rapiers as well for close air support. EXE with a huge number of brawlers. But Green has Vamps. And those Vamps will clean up most of the brawlers. I really like that both Deox and Race went into air. It has really made EXE's life miserable this game. As the Ultra K-Bot Gantry now in trouble. The penetrators making it through. The double barrel penetrators. Oh my god, and this is a horrifying situation to be on the receiving end of. Lemminkainen knowing it's over. These penetrators, 6 kills on that one. 8 kills on that one. Oh, a nice tactical nuke there, though. That tactical nuke did deal some damage to this army, but it didn't quite stop it. He would need another tactical nuke, I think, to completely finish off those penetrators, but it doesn't really matter because there's a Talos there as well, and these have so much more health than a penetrator. And now Merle's streaming in, sending their vertically launched rockets of doom into the Ultra K-Bot Gantry. Oh my god. I don't know why we don't see penetrators more often in Escalation. Especially the upgraded ones. These things are just so fearsome. They don't fire very fast, but every shot so devastating. And looks like Race is gearing up for yet another bombing run. That Ultra K-Bot gantry, it will die. And, yeah, with that will die the hopes and dreams of the Southern team. As Race puts on the pressure with his bombing run, and more Talos begin streaming in. We've got the triple barrel Centurions as well. And EXE doing what he can, but unfortunately, I think the Northern team did a lot of things right this game, but what they really did well was that both players went air. If it had just been... If one player had neglected to go air, EXE might have been able to control the skies, but EXE was 2v1 basically in the sky the whole game. Women kind of did build a little bit, but EXE was just never really able to control things the way he wanted to. His brawlers continuously shot down, his gunships just mutilated out of existence, really not allowing him to take control of the map the way that he would normally be able to do against less skilled players. Air is a huge investment, guys, so it's not so easy to tech into air if you ever play the game competitively like this. You'll find that if you try to go into too many things, if you try to put your fingers into too many pies, you're probably going to get your fingers ripped off. This Ultra Vehicle plant, now the unfortunate recipient of a massive number of guided missiles. And the Southern team, I think, just about to break. The fusions will go up there. As more and more units will stream in. EXE pumping out recons to try and stop this, but Lemminkainen taps out, realizing that their chance of winning is approaching 0. Now that all of these units are streaming through. What is this? I don't think I've seen this before. Dual barrel pyro. You guys see this? It's a pyro that has 2 arms. Double flamethrower pyro. That's so cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. I love it. No, I love it. We got to see more of that. Whoever's watching this cast, I implore you, build the double barrel pyros more. We want to see that. Our viewers want to see that. We need our satisfaction. What's wrong with you? What about our feelings? We need to see double barrel pyros. Make it so. We would love that. Answers in the comments. You guys want to see double barrel pyros, right? Like, someone needs to build these, man. I'd love to see these more. Wow, this is... That must be the latest. Something they added in the current patch. 998. Well played by the Northern team. I'm not sure what to say except the Northern team... Look, Race doing what he always does so well. Absolutely crushing you under the weight of a slow-moving macro death. Bulldogs, penetrators, flashes, stumpies, and whatever other amalgamation of bullshit. And Dioxide, with his sumo push, that was really impressive as well. But I think the real thing was both of them went into T2 air, and they fought for control of the sky from EXE, and because that EXE was never able to really get a handle on the game. Now, if EXE, if he'd only been against one player in the sky, I think they could have won. But overall, the Northern team just played it better. They had better teamwork and the better strategy. So, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate everyone here. Dioxide, I hope to see you back in the Discord soon so you can troll Wotan some more. And thank you for submitting the replay. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the next cast.